This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, and welcome back to yet another edition of Edmonton Oilers training camp coverage here on the channel. And for the first time this training camp, we have gotten our take on the Edmonton Oilers lines as assembled, not by Bob Stauffer, not by Kurt Levins of the Edmonton Journal, not by Jack Michaels, not by Gene Principe, not by I don't know, Jason Greger, Reed Wilkins, not by any of those guys. It's no longer educated guesses, my friends. We finally, at long last, have real Edmonton Oilers pairings for this squad, and how exciting that is, I cannot wait to tell you, as right now we've got day 2 lines to get to and then day 2 day pairs to get to, and it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out, as right now we've got a couple guys unfit to play for the Edmonton Oilers at this rate. Number one note you need to know is James Neal may not even be available for the season opener. Not an LTIR situation, but he may not be available ready to go for the season opener, and that is about as much as I have found on that topic. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, if you're new to the channel and want to stick around for the Edmonton Oilers season, I want you to do one thing for me right now. Take the next 10 minutes or so and please consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. If you're returning, right now let's have a like party, alright? Let's see how many likes we can get on finally having Edmonton Oilers lines for the 2021 season. So hit that like button on the video and let's get going, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the Edmonton Oilers forward lines for camp today. This coming from the official Oilers Twitter. You'll see that in a sec. Team 1, RNH, McDavid, Kassian. That is not a surprise. We expected that. We've done a video on that here on Dolynny TV already in the past week, discussing that was the most likely scenario coming into camp. What you now see is Nygaard, Kara, Chiasson as a potential fourth line for this Edmonton Oilers squad. Benson, McLeod, Russell as part of what could be the taxi squad. 13th, 14th forwards. Who really knows what the situation is going to be, especially now with James Neal in question to open the season. Team 2. Ennis, Draisaitl, Yamamoto. Well, that there, the top 2 lines for each squad sure sound a lot like those playoff lines that we started with that didn't suit us so well. So now, second time's the charm? I don't know. I thought the third time's the charm. Who am I to judge? I don't know. We'll find out. But realistically, you have to look at that unfit to play list and once again assume, well, Dominic Cahoon more than likely fits right in there on that second line. Archibald, Turris, and Puljujarvi is the third line. Well, that's been talked about. That's been a possibility from day 1 of signing Kyle Turris to an Edmonton Oilers contract. That has been the thought first and foremost. Yes, this is a possibility that Archibald switches wings and goes to the left side and plays there for the Edmonton Oilers on what is a deeper right wing this season. All right, but that also leaves Turris and Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi, who has come into camp wanting to cooperate, looking good, ready, positive, energetic, and rocking the first day, second day of camp, however you want to say it, the first on-ice session. Dave Tippett thrilled with the performance he got out of Jesse Puljujarvi at camp today, by the way. Quine, Marody, and Cracknell, if that does not sound like taxi squad material to you, I don't know what does, but that more than likely the taxi squad. And at long last, thankful here on Dolynny TV that Cooper Marody is back with the Edmonton Oilers, and we have some sort of news on Cooper Marody, who has been kind of MIA since that one game with Dornberger way back when, in what was that, like October? We have not heard much at all about Cooper Marody, and now here suddenly he is on Team 2 for Edmonton Oilers scrimmages this training camp. Seth Griffith, the quote-unquote extra forward, and well, he more than likely will be the extra forward that gets sent down to the AHL rather quickly, and they're starting their season early February with 28 teams as well. It's been a busy day here in the NHL, the AHL, and all over hockey world, as Canada, by the way, also defeated 5-0 over Russia, or Canada defeated Russia 5-0. I should say, and secondarily to that, we had that live stream. If you want to go check out that thrilling finish to that game, I'm sure, but really the result wasn't in doubt, and I was just doing it because I said I'd do it. So we get to the unfit to play list, and my goodness, I'm absolutely blitzing through this video, but there's a lot to digest because, yeah, we're 450 into the video, but guess what? Now We are just getting to the unfit to play side of things, and we've got a whole defense to still talk about, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not splitting it up into 2 videos. I'm splitting it 1 and 1, and away we go. Neil, Cahoon, and Haas and Shore, the unfit to play players. It sounds like Cahoon and Shore may be ready to play as early as tomorrow. A little nick along the way somewhere between wherever they came from and getting on the ice today. So they are just held steady out of lineup today and hopefully back tomorrow. Cahoon ready to go, hopefully. And then, of course, Devon Shore as well, the PTO candidate for that 4th line role. Where they fit in, I'm not really sure, but you look at how that all works out, right? That would give you a total of just about 4 lines for each side, minus the 1 forward, because we only have 23 forwards at camp. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the forward core for this Oilers squad so far. So interesting notes there for sure. Now we get to the day 2 D pairings, and while there's some rumors on Twitter, or not so much rumors, but truths on Twitter, I would say, about one Evan Bouchard coming to camp in quote-unquote terrific shape, if you can find that. I believe that's a Bob Stauffer quote. Team 1, Russell, Barrie, Jones, Larson, Niemelainen, Stanton. So Niemelainen and Stanton, your AHL pair. Stanton there just to fill things out and give you 3 D pairings essentially. And then Nurse, Bear, Cuckoo, Bouchard, Legason, and Lundstrom, your other 3 pairs. That's quick. Let's go back through this. Russell, Barrie, that very well could be your feature 3rd pair, where Russell's out there killing penalties, Barrie's out there taking the power play time, and they just play some even strength minutes, but not a whole ton of a lot. Now Jones, Larson, that is very much so your 2nd pairing for this Edmonton Oilers squad. Niemelainen, Stanton, what have I already said? They are going to the AHL almost without a doubt. Now, Nurse, Bear, guess what? That's your top line. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't like it, you don't like it, but that's the reality here in this Edmonton Oilers season. Unless, for whatever reason, Tyson Barrie's magically figured out the defense as an elite defensive defenseman in the NHL who can put up power play points like no problem, well, great, maybe we have something different to go on. But as it currently stands, Tyson Barrie is going to be either 2nd or 3rd pair. So Bear, still very valuable as that 1B right-hand shot defenseman last season. He will be the 1 pair defenseman this year by all accounts. And for $2 million, as long as he holds up his end of the bargain, that is a heck of a deal. Absolutely. Cuckoo, Bouchard, my goodness, talk about a pairing. This could be your feature 3rd pair at times when there's injuries in the lineup, or you just want to switch some guys out. Maybe give Adam Larson a day off because he's a little dinged up but not injured, and you want to give Chris Russell a day off because you don't want him to hurt his groin like he does every season. So you get Cuckoo and Bouchard out there, and they may combine for a couple of points in a hockey game. You just don't know, do you? Do you really know? I don't think you do. Anyway, Legason, Lundstrom, this is... well, I'm going to look at myself on this one. And I see my face. I know what my face looks like. This is one that makes you think. All right? That's all I'm going to say. This is one that makes you think. This is kind of how it breaks down, right? You've got your 3 pairs. Then you've got Cuckoo. Then you've got Legason and Bouchard and Lundstrom. And, well, those are your 4 defensemen. So do you carry 10 defensemen? Well, you could. You could carry 7 on the roster and then 2 on the, or 3, actually, 3 on the taxi squad and only carry 1 goalie and 2 forwards. That's a possibility. You could potentially do that if you are the Edmonton Oilers. So, right, there's a couple possibilities there, and it all comes up to the guys on the back end outshining the guys on the front end should they want to see any time on the Edmonton Oilers roster this year, whether it be taxi squad, whether it be on the bench, just in the press box traditional style of the roster, or whether it actually be in the lineup. And here's the thing, outside of the 1 pair of Niemelainen and Stanton, all of those 10 other guys could very well see significant time in the NHL with the Oilers this year. And Lundstrom, Legason, potentially the weakest of the 10 because they're more than likely the 1 or 2 fill-ins. But the other 8 very well could all be big key pieces of the Edmonton Oilers doing something on the back end this season, whether it be Bouchard stepping in and being a Rookie of the Year candidate because of an injury in camp, whether it be Tyson Barrie going and being the best power play defenseman the NHL has seen in 10 years, whether it be, I don't know, Caleb Jones rising to the top and becoming the Oilers' #1 defenseman on the left side in place of Oscar Klefbom. I don't know. Maybe Adam Larson revives his career and becomes a defenseman we all thought he could be when he was traded Hall for Larson. Cuckoo, well, he could step in and maybe be a guy that's only projected to play 25 games and then play 50. You just don't know. Darnell Nurse, does he become a bona fide number one defenseman in the NHL like he is semi-paid to do? We've already talked about Ethan Bear. Chris Russell, Chris Russell's just going to be Chris Russell, and there's no two ways around that. But ladies and gentlemen, that is your Edmonton Oilers lines. We can talk about goaltenders, but realistically, you just watch them in practice and see how they look. But those are the lines. You can stay tuned to see how they look throughout camp. That's what we're starting with. It's only day 2 of camp, and ladies and gentlemen, we are 9 days away from puck drop, 8 p.m. Mountain Time against the Vancouver Canucks here on Dolynny TV. It's going to be a solid game Wednesday, January 13th. And guess what? Guess what, my friends? That is literally a week from Wednesday. A week from Wednesday, puck drops here on Dolynny TV. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. If you've taken those past 10 minutes to consider hitting that subscribe button, thank you. Now, will you do it? I don't know. Ask yourself. That's your question to answer, not mine. And of course, if you haven't already, leave a like on the video. Ladies and gentlemen, I am up on out of here.